Okay, today we'll be talking about the roadmap and action plan of Broader Market Recognition Coalition, or in short, BMRC. So continuing the previous COP in Glasgow and Sharm El-Sheikh, where a talk show in Indonesian Pavilion on broader market recognition presented the joint statement to the world. So this year, BMRC, which consists of 6 founding nations, developed a roadmap, a vision which expands on the commitments, and a subsequent action plan which provides the framework for its implementation. So this session, our speakers will share and discuss the verified roadmap with the subsequent action plan for a good forest governance, in particular for tropical timber producing countries. So let's get onto it. Let's welcome our moderator for the session, Dr. Tri Nugroho from BMRC Secretariat.
Thank you, MC. Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Indonesian Pavilion again, UNFCCC COP28 in Dubai. Good afternoon for everyone. Good evening for those in Indonesia. I know some people are watching from there. As well as good morning for those partly in Africa, as well as in Europe, UK, and I think mostly in UK and EU. Thank you for being here and joining this session. I would like to thanks to Pak Agus Jusianto, Director General of Ministry of Environment and Forestry, for joining us. Thank you for all panelists that are already here from Indonesia and Ghana, from different stakeholders, government, civil society, and private sector, as well as a colleague from other BMRC country, Cameroon, Liberia, Guyana, Republic of Congo. Maybe some are not here, but they are watching. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Tri Nugroho. I'm currently for BMRC Secretariat, Broader Market Recognition Secretariat in Indonesia. And we are all here actually in the COP28 in Dubai. We are united, share concern that we need to work faster and at the greater scale if we are going to tackle climate change. Here, forests provide, I want to read this one. Forests provide an important carbon sink, and so it is critical that we accelerate effort to tackle deforestation and to combat illegal logging. So I would like to underline the illegal logging because we are talking about that as well here, and promote sustainable use of forests. This session is actually talk about the action we have been working so long, not for 1 or 2 years, but decades. So 30 years ago, for example, for Indonesia, and as well as for the future of forests, particularly in the tropical. And some of you, I know, were in the COP26 in Glasgow, as well as in Sharm El-Sheikh. In Glasgow, at the time, we introduced the idea of BMR. In Sharm El-Sheikh, at the time, we declared the joint statement of BMR countries of 6 tropical countries. And now, we are going to update you the progress 1 year after Sharm El-Sheikh about the BMR initiative. And today, we are going to invite people from, speakers from 2 countries, representing Indonesia as Ghana. This is important actually, because Indonesia is Ghana is the only 2 countries got FLEGT license. Indonesia got in 2019 and 2016, and then Ghana got the FLEGT license just this year, right? We are going to learn about this experience from Ghana, from our colleague presenter from Ghana. Getting license, FLEGT license is not easy, takes years to come, and then under the framework of voluntary partnership agreement. Another 14 countries are waiting for that FLEGT license. So we are going to learn more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the initiative of broader market recognition is drawn together from different stakeholders, government, civil society, and private sector. All together advocating for stronger market, incentive to support good forest governance from in the other tropical countries. A recognition from other countries, not only from EU market, but also beyond EU. Okay, without further ado, I would like to invite Bapak Dr. Agus Yustianto, Director General of Sustainable Forest Management of the Indonesian Ministry of Environment and Forestry, to give a keynote speech. Pak Agus, The Excellency Pak Agus, please come to the stage to give the speech. Give applause for Pak Agus.
Thank you, Pak Tri. Honorable delegates from producer countries, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Ghana, Guyana, and Liberia, my fellow delegates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. Right? It is my great pleasure to meet you all in the UNFCCC COP28 in Dubai City, the capital of the Emirate of Dubai, in the Eastern Arabian Peninsula on the coast of the Persian Gulf directly and virtually. I would also like to express my highest appreciation to the BMRC Secretariat for hosting this session and welcome you all for sharing information and experience as well, dealing with the national system. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Broader Market Recognition Coalition, or BMRC, is a platform to endorse, monitor, and promote implementation of national sustainable forestry systems, and to label and promote trade of forest products that originated from BMRC endorsed national systems. BMRC also promotes harmonized standards for legal and sustainable forest products in trade regulation and public and private sector procurement that provide recognition to BMRC label products internationally. The development of BMRC was initiated through deliberation and discussion in the Indonesian Pavilion during the COP26 and several global fora on forest policy on the need to provide incentive for good forest governance through broader market recognition beyond FLEGT VPA upon qualifying national verification systems. Producer countries have been developing robust national systems on timber legality assurance systems and call for wider recognition by markets beyond the FLEGT VPA partners. In a policy forum on broader market recognition in London, September 2022, multi-stakeholder of 6 countries, that is Indonesia, Ghana, Liberia, Guyana, Cameroon, and the Republic of Congo, agreed to collaborate towards formalization of a coalition to work towards broader market recognition on national verification system beyond FLEGT VPA processes. Subsequently, Bali meeting in March 2023 declared the coalition platform as a broader market recognition coalition of BMRC and developed a draft of a roadmap and action plan to secure broader market recognition of national sustainable forestry system. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the time to move forward. Action plan must be implemented and potential members should be invited. I hope today's discussion could lead into the real action. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Agus Yustianto, Director General of Sustainable Forest Management of the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. Now I would like to invite all speakers to come to the stage. First, Pak Kristianto. Pak Kristianto is Honorary Chair of the BMRC Secretariat. He is Director of Forest Product Processing and Marketing, Minister of Environment and Forestry of Indonesia, for sure. And then I would like to invite Ms. Dorin Asumang Yeboah. I would like to introduce Dorin is the Director of Right and Advocacy Initiative Network, RAIN, a non-for-profit organization in Ghana. She is a community right and gender advocate, a member of Legal Working Group, a CSO representative on the Multi-Sector Implementation Committee of the FLEGT in Ghana. She had a natural resource management education background and master in development policy and planning. And then I would like to invite Pak Chris, another Chris, Pak Chris Beko from Ghana, Government View. Chris Beko is Director of Forestry Commission in Ghana. He was a coordinator of Ghana process during the Voluntary Partnership Agreement negotiation, as well as a key member of the negotiation team. Remain of the focal point of the VPA process has led Ghana in the implementation of the legality assurance system for Ghana. Mr. Chris Beko has a mixed background in forestry, IT, and forest governance. I would like to invite last speakers, Ibu Dian, please come up to the stage. He has a lot of position, but here is as a Vice Chairman of Multi-Business Forestry, representing private sector, Indonesian Forest Concession Association. So here is our speakers for this session, and I would like to invite Pak Chris Dianto to give a speak and presentation about the BMRC, the progress since Sharm El-Sheikh, COP27, now in COP28. Pak Chris, please.
Thank you, Pak Tri. Good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone have a good day today. And I would like to elaborate the points of previously mentioned by our Director General, Pak Agus Justianto. My name is Chris Dianto Sugianto. I'm a Director of Forest Product Processing and Marketing at Indonesia's Ministry of Environment and Forestry. I also serve as Honorary Chair of the BMRC Interim Secretariat. Let me talk through the BMRC and the progress. And next, today I will share our coalition overview about the vision, strategy, and the current progress. Next. And these tropical countries have made progress in good forest governance. Next slide, please. And among others, one example from Indonesia is that our minister, Professor Siti Nurbaya, highlighted Indonesia's success in reducing emissions in forestry sector with a steady decline into 75%, lowest in history since 1990, into 0.1 million hectares. And along with other policy measures, SPLK has proven for its contribution to the improvement that impacted to the gain market confidence. However, the clear recognition and incentive is yet to be realized. Momentum keeps going. Forest governance reform has now entered a new era and needs to be seized. Now let's imagine where the sustainability of forests happen across countries' jurisdictions, where sustainability endeavors and application are not limited in concessions. This is the contribution of policy measures side in forest governance reform. Then, what is our broader market recognition coalition? And as mentioned by our DG, Dr. Agus Susianto, we currently have 6 founding member countries in Asia, Africa, and South America, with multi-stakeholders representation toward the same mission for global recognition of our national system. I repeat it again, for global recognition of our national systems. Even the coalition has just been formalized this year during the policy forum in Bali. The initiative went through many milestones in COP26 and COP27. In COP26, Glasgow, we called for beyond FLEGT, in our pavilion, which also resonates with the UK, who launched Tropical Timber Accord. In COP27 in Sharm El-Sheikh, the 6 countries launched a joint statement, and here is the joint statement signed by 6 countries, represented by 6 actors: government, private sectors, and civil society. After a series of thorough consultation involving members, as well as the national consultation sessions, the coalition have the roadmap available in our website, forestgovernance.org. So if everyone wants to open it, there are a lot of information, particularly to the countries who wants to join, who wants to go with us with this FLEGT, that can open this forestgovernance.org. And following our signed joint statement, the framework will endorse, monitor, and promote national sustainability forestry systems that comply with defined principles and criteria for multi-stakeholder, environmental, economic, and social principles, monitored by independent party and audited by third party, and the system continuously improve. On our radar, the current global investment value of sustainable product is about 35 trillion. Gradually, the coalition will fulfill market recognition of the NSFS country that met the principles and criteria. From the endorsement, gain political recognition, international trade, and marketing of legal and sustainable forest products, and increase investment in the sector. We are now in the foundation building stage, from the secretariat for the daily operation, and gradually developing several other governance structures as shown in the slides. We are open to any contribution and collaboration with producer countries, also consumers, together to strengthen the coalition governance. As a platform, this coalition opens its door widely to tropical countries interested in joining in our platform. We are aware of the nuance between one country and another. Further, we will elaborate on the BMRC assessment and endorsement criteria. As a coalition, the tropical producer countries promote an internationally harmonized standard that recognize our national systems. Regarding to the new AUDR, in the frequently asked question, they just put another topic that they will recognize this national system. So it is a good move for us to face the AUDR. That's another thing that we invite non-tropical countries to be associate members, and together we will engage to broader collaboration through multilateral approach and measures with international agencies. And we will update all of our progress in the website, and please visit, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Pak Tri.
Thank you very much, Pak Chris. That was a very impressive progress in 1 year after the COP in Sharm El-Sheikh, the initiative of BMRC, the progress, the roadmap, and the future plan of BMRC. I would like to invite story from Ghana, Ibu Dorin, and then continue by Pak Chris Beko, please.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share our perspectives on incentivizing good forest governance beyond FLEGT licensing. And we are taking it from the viewpoint of Ghana. I'll start the presentation, which has been jointly developed by the Ghanaian team, and our colleague, Mr. Chris Beck, will come and continue. So for over a decade now, Ghana has been implementing the Voluntary Partnership Agreement, which is a component of the Forest Law Enforcement Governance and Trade Action Plan signed between Ghana and the European Union. And this FLEGT VPA is described as a robust process because it has a multi-stakeholder deliberative process that forms its backbone, And because of that, there is legitimacy from all the stakeholders who have also accepted the process as their own for implementation. This process, again, has social, economic, and sustainability principles embedded within its framework and implementation. And again, there is the participation of non-state actors as independent forest monitors. And the information that comes out of this monitoring and the corrective action requests are being constantly used to review and revise the system that has been developed. And so there is a continuous improvement of this FLEGT process. All components of the legality assurance system have been developed and implemented over the last 5 years. And unfortunately, Ghana's FLEGT process has been criticized for its seemingly long trajectory. And this criticism, to some extent, has resulted in a diminishing interest by some of the parties involved in this FLEGT process. Fortunately for us, at the last JMR meeting in Brussels, there was a renewed commitment by parties, and by this I refer to the EU and Ghana, to ensure that the FLEGT process is carried on. And so very soon, Ghana is going to see FLEGT licensing live. This is because all the outstanding audit findings have been implemented. Everything has been addressed now, and in the next quarter, hopefully, we are going to see Ghana's FLEGT license being issued. But there is a question that lingers on the mind of people, and that is, what's next after FLEGT VPA licensing? Are people going back to sleep because the ultimate has been achieved? How do we keep the momentum? And that is where the BMRC comes in. So the broader market recognition, like has been stated by other speakers, is to ensure there is no loss of momentum or drive on the forest governance reform process that have been achieved over the years through the FLEGT VPA process. It builds on the incentives and good governance and the transformational process that have come through the VPA process. And so we let people know the shift that sits behind the legality assurance system brought by the FLEGT VPA process to the countries that are implementing it. So to summarize it, I would say that BMRC is building on the FLEGT VPA process and the achievements that have been harnessed over the years. So it's more like consolidating on the gains of FLEGT VPA in Ghana and across the tropical countries. Now, what is our interest as civil society? Civil society is very much interested in BMRC because it is a build-up on the FLEGT process. And in the development of the FLEGT process, civil society was very much instrumental. The development of the process itself, the establishment of the legality assurance system, the development of the complaint mechanisms, as well as our involvement in the independent forest monitoring. Altogether, we see ourselves as a part of the development of FLEGT process. So if there is anything that is building on the achievements of FLEGT, then of course, we have to be a part of it. We are very much interested and we have a great stake in that. That is why we are here as civil societies to promote and support the BMRC. I will end here and hand over to my colleague Chris to continue the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doreen and distinguished guests. It's an honor indeed to be here to do this. And for me, it is particularly exciting because the BMRC really, looking at it, as has been stated by speaker after speaker, is an opportunity to continue what has been achieved under the FLEGT VPA, and not only continue, but bring more incentive for its continuity. Okay. Yeah, let me just continue to speak. So, as has been said, Chris talked about why BMRC, and I'll approach that from another angle, why the BMRC, and I'd like to talk about the antecedents, therefore, of the BMRC. So, BMRC is introduced because we've recognized that good forest governance is the main challenge in tropical forest countries in sustaining the forests. As has been said, it is here to provide incentives to countries and national systems that have taken the trouble to establish their national systems, and it is recognize that these national systems hold promise in tackling these good governance challenges. As, again, we heard from the previous speaker, Doreen, the VPA process is a multi-stakeholder endeavor. All stakeholders get involved. It is owned by all, and therefore, the policies that come out of the process is owned. And when policies are owned across the board by all stakeholders, its implementations hold better promise. And so that's where this is rooted, that we shall continue. The BMRC is expected to continue with that culture of multi-stakeholder deliberative process in not only coming out with policy, but also implementing it. It also, the antecedents is that the observation, we've observed that it is only robust systems, particularly we're referring to the legality assurance system like the SVLCAR, like what Ghana has done, the GLAS. They have the potential to effectively combat deforestation and maintain forest cover. Why? Because with the legality assurance system, unlike systems where there are no legality gates, and I mean gates like doors that you open and close, there are no gates that are erected. The legality assurance system would ensure that unless your consignment is compliant, it cannot go through to the market. And these enforcement of this compliance can go a long way to make sure that forest management prescriptions are respected, tax obligations are respected, and actually all the environmental laws are respected, including together with the fiscal. And we believe that over time, this is what is necessary in combating forest deforestation and maintaining forest cover. And so it's here to provide good incentive to such endeavor. So as has been said, we'd like to repeat it, that BMRC is building on the achievement of the FLEGT VPA process. And so the other side of it is what would be the principles, what are we committed to? And so this is the last slide I'd like to leave with you, that the commitments of the BMRC is that clear market incentives would play a role in reinforcing efforts at sustainable forest management. Markets must recognize the efforts that has gone or that goes into the development and implementation of these legality assurance systems, these national systems, and the incentive they can give is the patronage, the right patronage of the products that come, the right recognition that is given to it. So that's the first commitment that we have. Clear market incentives will play a role in reinforcing these efforts. The second is the BMRC would advocate or advocates for national systems such as developed under the FLEGT VPAs, which I have elaborated. The other commitment, the third commitment is that, again, an emphasis that the FLEGT VPA multi-stakeholder deliberative process has the potential, among others, to ensure continuous improvements in forest governance. And so our focus on the multi-stakeholder deliberative process is that we see that it can push continuous improvements, in addition to what we've heard, that continuously under national systems like has been implemented under the SVLCAR and GLAS, or the Ghana Legality Assurance System, we have opportunities to look at corrective action requirements coming from legality audits, and the implementation of these corrective action requirements ensure that the right thing is being done and incrementally. But in addition to that, you need the eyes of all the stakeholders to make sure that everybody keeps their eye on the ball. And that's the principle, the third principle, or commitment of the BMRC. And the last but not the least, there are others, but for the sake of time, summarize that market recognition is important for incentivizing national systems. And by market recognition, what would we mean? We anticipate that the market will recognize us, and the recognition is going to be through the issuance of labels at the end of the day from these BMRC coalition countries whose systems would have been passed to have met a certain standard. So at the end of the day, we are looking at standards from which labels would be issued. So in brief, these are the commitments that we have. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Nada Pak Chris, for the presentation and update from Ghana about the FLEGT license from Ghana. I think it's not happening yet, yeah? It's going to be next year, yeah? The FLEGT license for Ghana. But it's agreed this year. So congratulations for Ghana and welcome to the club soon for the FLEGT license country. Takes a lot of time. Now I would like to invite representative, if we already hear government from Indonesia, government from Ghana, civil society representative. Now we are going to hear perspective from private sector. We have Ibu Dian Novarina. Please, Ibu Dian, to come to the stage, please.
Thank you, Patri. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be here, to be part of this important session with the great panelists and also the moderator, of course, and also the audience who are here and also joining this session online from various places. My name is Dian Novarina. I am from the Association of Indonesia Forest Concessionaires. This evening, I will speak about the private sector perspective in timber producing countries, particularly Indonesia. The outline of my presentation this evening will be as follows. I will explain the export trend and destination of Indonesian forest product export. Then I will highlight the challenges of forest business faced in Indonesia, which may also be similar to those experienced by forest businesses in other tropical countries. Next will be how the private sector support global initiative for sustainability. And finally, there will be call for action and support. This slide is a bit busy, but this is an interesting slide. We can see this is the slide describes Indonesia forestry product export trends from January 2013 until December 2020, following the implementation of FLEGT, Implementation Certification Scheme in Indonesia. The figure on the left side show a consistent increase in export value from year to year, except in the COVID period, namely in 2019 and 2020. However, the same figure we can see here that Indonesia's forestry product export performance could bounce back in 2021. The figure on the top right show a condition per month from 2019 to 2020, which is more detailed show the situation during the COVID-19 pandemic and the years after that which managed to recover. The figure at the bottom right show, this is the different, before we talk about the value in billion US dollar. Now we will focus on the different forest product from Indonesia. It can be seen that over the past 10 years, paper, pulp, wooden furniture and woodworking have shown a consistent upward trend in value. Next, the slide is about Indonesia forest product export destination. We can see from this slide, we see from the figure on the left, it shows that Asia, North America, and the European Union are the most significant export destination for the forestry product in Indonesia, from Indonesia. And the figure on the right shows that China is still the primary destination for Indonesia wood product, followed by the United States, Japan, India, Korea, and Vietnam. On this following slide, we can see the comparison of the forestry sector performance year on year in 2022 and 2023. The slides compare timber production for the upstream, timber production from natural forest, plantation, and from Perum Perhutani, one of the state-owned forest company in Indonesia. We can see from this slide that the wood product coming from natural forests is decreasing significantly, 20%, while timber production from plantation forest and perhutani are still increased. In the downstream products that show a sharp increase in export value were wood chips, up to 72%, and handicraft, 65%, while those that show a decline were wood panel, 28%, and woodworking, 9.7%. And all in all, there is a decrease amounting to 5.7%. I would like now to address some of the challenges faced by the private sector forestry in Indonesia. The first is that changing market requirement, which differ from one consumer country to another, making it difficult for producer countries like Indonesia. For example, the latest UDR requires geolocation and fulfillment of a comprehensive sustainability standard, which were not previously required, while in other countries, these requirements are not necessary. This has implication for the efficiency of resource used by business actors because they have to spend double or even triple costs to meet different requirements requested by various export destination countries. Then, after this requirement have been met with various improvement efforts by the private sector, it is still unclear as to the reward or incentive obtained, which here refers specifically to ease of market access. Not to mention that periodically, these requirements keep changing. So, for the business actors, it is like chasing a moving target. Another challenge faced is the different technical and financial capabilities of forestry business in Indonesia to meet the requirement or regulation. The capability of a large company or group will be different from that of a smaller size operation or smaller company. Despite of those challenges mentioned in the previous slide, we continue to support and commit to fulfilling the sustainability aspect of doing forestry business. The private sector actively engage with other stakeholders to support the development and implementation of National Sustainability Forest System or SPLK Indonesia, and our commitment to sustainable forest management includes supporting the achievement of climate ambition, biodiversity protection, community well-being, human rights, due diligence, fulfillment of gender equality, and also recognition of indigenous people. So, and through this forum, we raise our expectation, our hope. Together with other stakeholders, Indonesia Forest Concession holders views that the BMRC is an essential platform to collaborate to fulfill shared commitment to sustainability that benefit all producing countries. Synergy and collaboration are critical to improving market access, both among producers and between producer and also consumers, as fulfilling responsibilities together will strengthen our path to achieve a shared vision for prosperity and sustainability. Thank you.
Very interesting. So that was actually the update and perspective from private sector on the progress related to SPLK Indonesia, as well as the interest for the private sector on the BMRC that potentially can support the private sector to sell more legal certified wood and sustainable wood. or product. I would like, now we have some minutes for question and answer. I would like to ask the floor if there are some questions. Somebody please help for the mic. If any one of you would like to raise question to the panels or to BMRC in general, please. Or if there are some people I know which is involved with the BMRC development as well, Lawrence, Frank, if you want to give additionality, please so. Anyone want to raise a question, please? Frank, do you want to give additionality on that? Yes, please, over there.
Thank you very much. I think a lot has been said in relation to the BMRC. And I think at this point, we need to reach out to other tropical countries who would want to also come in and join. It is a very nice opportunity for us to look at landscape sustainability rather than looking at isolated islands in terms of trying to conserve islands. This is a broader and a good opportunity which we need to reach out to the other tropical countries. And so if there is a tropical country here, I urge you, it is a fine opportunity. Let us come together, reach out to the world, and let them know that this is a fine opportunity for us to come together and also sell the bright future that the BMRC has for us. Thank you.
Frank, I think Frank, could you introduce yourself? Who are you?
Yes, so I am Frank Ankuma from Ghana with the Government Forestry Commission. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. Any other comment, Lawrence? You want to add some additionality from your perspective? Oh, okay. I heard somebody from Liberia is here. Liberia, please come up with a question or comment, Liberia. Please.
Well, I think we should be meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
There will be another session like this in Central African session, right?
Yes.
Please, you can.
Yes, I mean, we have come to participate in this process. As you know, Liberia supports the process, and we want to see alternative avenue for us tropical countries to sell our timbers outside of the FLEGT VPA arrangement. And that's why we subscribe to the BMRC, and we look forward to selling outside of UK and EU, and to all of the consumer countries around the world. And I agree with the young man from Ghana that we should encourage other countries, the Gabon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and other countries, so that they join. So, I mean, we've already started. We need some more of our colleagues from the other countries. So I really don't have a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Harrison from Liberia. Please, other people who want to raise a question or comment, please. Pak Sigit, maybe you can add with additionality, please.
Thank you very much. I'm Sigit Pramono, formerly with the Ministry of Environment and Forestry of the Republic of Indonesia. Now I'm helping the interim secretariat of the Broader Market Recognition Coalition, BMRC. Just very short would be comment on the presentation of Ibu Dian Novarina on the year-on-year comparison of the production and exports. That basically I've seen that the data being occupied has been the whole data for 2022, if it would be correct, and then for the data for 2023, it has been data up to October. So it means that 12 months being compared to 10 months. But basically my point is that the data exactly is representing the number 11 point some number and also 11 point some. But basically if it would be compared for 12 to 12 months databases, then we hope this represent that the data would show a kind of positive trend. This is my point, that on apple-to-apple comparison, the analysis would show kind of decreasing trend, but I don't know if Budian would confirm this need to be further analyzed for this comparison. And secondly, just to inform those producing countries with regard to maybe could be some question to address how to join the coalition, and the coalition, what would be the next progress, next activity for the coalition. Then we could visit the website that basically the basis for joining the coalition would be signing as the member of the coalition, and it needs the participation of the whole stakeholders in its producing country, the potential coalition member. That's my comment, Pak Tri. Thank you very much, and also appreciation to the comprehensive presentation of the whole panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Sigit, for the question for Ibu Dian, as well as for other colleagues on the potential involvement for other countries to join BMRC. Bu Dian, do you want to respond, please?
Thank you, Pak. Thank you, Pak Tri, and also thank you, Pak Sigit. I think I need to give additional information. This is year on year until October 2022, Pak Sigit. And also for 2023 also until October. So it is apple to apple already actually. We can see on the lower side here until October, because last year the export value is reaching 14.2 billion US dollar. But until October this year, it is only 78%. Only, yeah. So it is already apple to apple. Thank you. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Bu Dian. Chris, you want to give additional, another quiz? You want to comment on that? Question from Pak Sigit?
Yes, on how other countries interested to join. Yes. So maybe we didn't have the chance to go into good detail, but this is a coalition that, as we said, works with the key stakeholder groups in the country, the private sector, the civil society, and the government. And as Pak Chris, Indonesia showed on the screen, the joint statement shows that. So it's an application. This is a starting countries. Any country that is wishing to join, number one, I think the criteria that they must fulfill is that they must have started. They need not be at the completion stage, but must started and have a nationally operating sustainable forest system. So as I said, they need not to be at the completion point. It can be at any stage in the implementation of that system, and the framework accommodates the recognition and step-by-step progression that we can make to the endpoint, like Indonesia has done and Ghana has approached. Yeah, so an application that shows that this stakeholder group in the country have consented to it, and we have such a system, and that's what it takes to come in. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Chris Beko. I think one of another requirement is just sign the joint statement, because the 6 countries are actually signed the joint statement. Yeah, that was the first, which is express the commitment from the country to follow all of the preparation toward the BMRC coalition. Any other question, comment? Please. Please say your name as well as where you come from.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm Osman Young, Principal Program Officer with Ghana EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. First of all, I want to thank the negotiators and all of those who have been in discussion to bring this agreement or program. I think they deserve a lot of commendation. My question, number one, is that so what lessons have we learned from similar or somehow related agreements or programs so that going forward we're able to avoid the pitfalls, and have a seemingly smooth implementation of this brilliant program. And then my question number two is that how are we also trying to get the political buy-in or the commitment, because, some of us in our parts of the country or where we come from, if you don't have the political commitment or support to all these brilliant agreements and programs, then the implementation becomes very, very challenging. So I would like to know how we are going about this too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment or question? I just want to collect all of the questions. Please, you first and then later on after that.
Thank you. Faisal Parish, Global Environment Centre, Malaysia. Can I just ask a couple of questions? One, for the countries who are interested to join the BMRC mechanism, what is the value added that is provided to the country? And secondly, what is the progress or the barrier to getting recognition in the destination countries of BMRC? How can BMRC assist in getting access to those markets, or are there barriers to those markets that they requiring other international certification processes? Thank you.
Thank you. One more.
Thank you very much. My name is Obed Owusu Adai. I work with EcoCare Ghana. I'll give a bit of a small background before I ask my question. The BMRC is an offshoot of the FLEGT process. And the FLEGT process was initiated by the European Union. And some few years ago, the European Union, through their, they did an assessment, and they came up with this conclusion that the FLEGT has not led to the kind of progress that they were anticipating. And so there seemed to be lack of interest moving forward, and they have come up with this new EU deforestation regulation, which seemed to not really provide the green lane to the EU market as we anticipated from the beginning of the FLEGT process. So my question now is, if the EU that started the FLEGT process is abandoning the ship in the middle of the process, what is the motivation for us as the producer countries to carry on? And probably it also fits into the question that was asked by my colleague here, that when you look at how the EU, I've seen the numbers, the EU is not taking as much as they used to. But everybody, any private sector entity will tell you that the EU is a very, very lucrative market when it comes to pricing. So not the volume, but the pricing, they provide a good market opportunity. And the EU has a mechanism that through their public procurement system, when they are giving contracts to their private sector, they oblige them to work with certain type of products sourced from sustainable sources. And their conclusion on the FLEGT is that product from FLEGT license is not sustainable. How are we working to counter this narrative that is out there? Because it appears it's going to be one of the bottlenecks that is going to work against the BMRC, the sustainability tag? How are we strategizing? What strategies are in place to counter that narrative that is out there, especially at the EU? Thank you very much.
Very interesting, all of questions. Maybe we cannot answer all the questions. That's why the BMRC coalition is set up for answer those of questions actually. But I would like to ask the presenter here to give kind of like response to all of the questions. I'm not sure if you can answer one by one, but please, I would like to start with Pak Kristianto. I don't think so it's working, Pak.
It's working.
Working, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Tri. Thank you, everyone, for asking the question. From the first guy from Ghana, that's what lesson we learned from the agreement, that we have to understand that the FLEGT VPA is a bilateral treaty which is higher than the AUDR itself. Actually, we've got the joint expert meeting every year, and you can tell them and you can provide explanation. You can explain them about what's going on with this, what the position with this FLEGT with the AUDR. But again, from this coalition, we sharing all together. We develop the South-South cooperation. If we can have the capacity building between us, so with this national strategy, with the national system, we can develop like the FLEGT is developed into the SVLK. That's what we learn. You can learn from Indonesia that we've been through, as Bu Dian mentioned, how the export is raising to AU. And again, it's not only AU, but it will be also effect in other countries, the deforestation issues. So the advantage of we have the FLEGT license is that our forest product is got the legality thick. So they understand that if the forest product is got the FLEGT license, they got the legality. But now we are struggling for to get the sustainability, which is we need to inform them the geolocation, which means represent of the where is the log coming from. So again, to also answer the guy from the Malaysia, that if the country wants to join the platform, this BMRC, we need to have a discussion, and also you need to also involve not only from the government, but also from the private sector and the civil society organization. And again, we understand we start from 6, and we hope that more people, more countries joining us means more people we need to promote, and we need to understand how they understand our national system. And we like to promote and campaign, because the campaign is the most important thing. And again, for the destination country, as you may know, that there are about 26 of the European countries. They are now having the AUDR. They have the implementing authority in every country, about 26 countries. They may have a different perception about what is the AUDR itself. So what we can do is we try to promote and we try to negotiate. We try to recognize them what is the national system about. So that's one part. And also in every FLEGT, we've got joint expert meeting. We try to tell them, we try to promote our national system. And finally, about the, yes, I mentioned about the AU mechanism. I think I mentioned a lot that if you got the FLEGT license, you develop in the, like Malaysia, they've got the Malaysian Timber Legality Assurance System. And we've got SVLK, we've got timber legality thick. So they understand. And then we need to provide the detail for the sustainability. That's with the geolocation. That basically Indonesia is got their geolocation from the other system. We need to integrate in the forest product system. So basically we are still doing it, and then we try to propose them in joint expert meeting on January. That's Indonesian case. I think that's Pak Tri. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Chris, for the response to all questions. Please, Doreen.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll pick it from the angle of the European Union and FLEGT being legality and not sustainability. So it comes up with the fact that in the development of the FLEGT process, especially for Ghana, the emphasis was on production of legal products to the markets. And we overlooked that sustainable aspect of it, although everything that we are doing as a legality has that embodiment of sustainability. Aside that, our FLEGT process have components of economic, it has environmental considerations as well as social considerations, where we look at human rights issues, we look at community rights issues, we look at gender issues, all encompassed within the FLEGT process. But the problem with that, we did not include sustainability as a fundamental component of FLEGT in its development. That has been the backlash. And so moving forward, we need to promote that aspect of sustainability we have in our FLEGT products or in our FLEGT process. And so at the last JMRM meeting in Brussels, the EU themselves acknowledged the fact that Ghana's FLEGT has components of sustainability, but that was not clarified in the development of the process. So it's up to us now to come together to promote that product we have developed over the years, to let the world know that, yes, it is not just about legality, but it has components of sustainability. That is why border market recognition is very critical at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doreen. I think I just want to raise again the announcement of FLEGT Indonesia in Glasgow, which is not only legality, but also underline the sustainability. I think Ghana is in the same line on that. Yes. Pak Chris, please.
Yes, thank you. So lots have been said, but let me just add a little component to that, which has to do with the focus or preference in procurement authorities in the EU for what they consider to be sustainable. I think what we should bear in mind is that what they consider sustainable timber has enjoyed the presence of the market for close to 30 years. It's been marketed, they understand it. There's been no let me say, very little promotion to get them to understand what we have coming in with national sustainable forest systems. So it's work for us to do, to let them understand, as we showed again, that there's a transformational shift that sits behind any country that will come with products from a national sustainable forest system, where we have induced or we are inducing transformation across the board, across the landscape, and not from pockets of forest. These are things, this is work for us to, left for us to do. So I understand them, they have their perspective, and our work for the next month, year, 2, 3, is to let them see what they are not seeing now. And that will link me to the question, so what is the added benefit for new members? Yes, they would benefit from this presence that we are establishing on the market. They would get better penetration for their products on the market, because we know that we shall succeed. And at the end of the day, there's going to be credibility that links up to investment opportunities. There are more opportunities. So it's a good idea for other producer countries to look, tropical countries to look into this and consider joining us. I think the others have been elaborated, so I'm going to stop here. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Beko. Budian, please, if you have additionality.
Yes, very briefly, Pak Tri. I think as a business, we really need to be able to accept, to access market that really can appreciate what has been done by the effort that has been done by the company in terms of achieving and fulfilling sustainability commitment. So in the near future, I think there will be, as mentioned earlier by others, there will be another country will also will have sustainability standards. So the initiative like BMRC is really something that very useful, and we from the private sector really hope that this can be a platform, a productive platform for the producer countries as well as producer and consumer countries can work together to give benefit to all parties. So we can achieve our goals, economic goal, sustainable, environmental goal, and social goals by using this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Budian, for the response. I think all of your question and concern actually is our concern in the BMR. That's actually questioning by ourselves as well. Why are we going to deal with the market? Are we going to wait for the EUDR and next regulation from other countries? Are we going to just waiting? Let's a tropical country come together and discuss about how to deal with that, to answer that question. I think that is actually the BMRC idea coming from. So all questions are valid. The response are not easy to answer, but now we are working on that. We just established, BMRC just established in Bali this March, yeah? March, and now we have initial roadmap you can see in the website. And one of our mechanism on the BMRC is actually trying to give update in every COP. So in Glasgow, we call for kind of like a beyond FLEGT, what is actually happening. And then in Sharm El-Sheikh, we talk about the joint statement. Here, now we talk about the establishment of broader market recognition coalition and the roadmap. So next year, we are going to see you again on BMRC update. I don't know, where is it going to be? In Praha. Okay, I don't know. Maybe still in discussion. But yeah, thank you everyone for the discussion today. Thank you for the panelists. One more question for Frank. Come on.
I think
you too as well.
I think he
Okay.
raised, he asked the question. And let me try
Please.
answer. He was saying that how are we going to get the political will or political buy-in? I think this is an issue that was raised so many occasions, especially by my new Pakris at the in Bali. And so it was looked at holistically. Some countries like Indonesia already could see had a lot of high political stint in the whole process. But then I think the signature to the joint statement had other political figures in various countries also appending their signature to it. But beyond that, there was a committee that was agreed. In fact, I happen to be a member of that committee to develop an action or a policy statement for the various governments to look at so that we could go extra beyond that. We appreciate that, yes, there is that issue of political will and political buy-in. And so actions are being done. And I think that the next processes will be to incorporate that, to move on, to have that political buy-in.
Very good question and statement. We don't have any more time. 3 more minutes to go, right?
Yeah, just
So
1 minute.
just statement, one statement and that's it, right?
Regarding the political buy-in, those of us who attended these, who cooperated in this thing, who came from the political background. Yeah. So we came with a political approval from Liberia.
Very good. Let's stop. And then we are going to see you again in between this COP and next COP, another meetings for consultation and discussion and consolidation among ourselves. So thank you everyone. Thank you for the speakers and participants, all of you here and as well as on the virtually. So I would like to ask the presenter to take a picture together and then that's it. Thank you everyone.